First time you open AECOsim Building Designer Connect Edition, you'll be presented with the welcome page. Now the welcome page is broken down into three main parts. You'll see some videos on the left-hand side over here of some examples. You will have available a list of training courses. Over on the right is news and announcements from the Bentley Communities page. You'll notice this button down here at the bottom for more training. When we click on more training, that will take your internet browser directly to the Bentley Learn server with AECOsim Building Designer set as the product line in the filter. Down at the bottom right, you'll see that there are links to social media sites. And on the right, you'll see an arrow over here, and if we hover over that arrow, then we can start a work session. So when we come to start a work session, we're now on the work page of AECOsim Building Designer Connect Edition. The work page has a list of recent work sets over on the left. In the middle section here, you will see a list of recently used files, and you can switch this list to just showing you the thumbnails or showing you the details. And on the right here is properties of the work set. Now in this middle section, this is where you set your workspace and your work set. So you'll notice the drop-down list here where you can come in and set your workspace. Right now I am in the AECOsim examples workspace. You can see down here where we have a tool to create workspace and a configuration migration tool at the bottom down here. Once we set the workspace, then this list here is the work sets. You see the example work sets that I'm looking at here, and I am currently in the multi-use retail building US work set. You notice at the bottom here is a tool where I can create new work sets. In this list of files, you notice it shows me the path to the file. Also, any models, different models that are in the DGN file here. And there is a right-click menu here where I can just right-click and say open or open as read-only. But notice I have these options to pin to this list or remove from this list. And then also an option for open folder in File Explorer. So if I select that option, you'll notice that it takes me out to my Windows Explorer directly to the folder where that DGN file exists. I'm just going to double click on it to open this file. Once we're in the file, you notice in the ribbon interface is a File tab. Clicking on the File tab will take us to the Backstage page of the software. And in the Backstage page, you'll notice how we have a list on the left-hand side where we can create new files, we can open files, do a save, save as, our save settings, send to email, and close. Also, we have tools over here for things like compressing files, our compress options, license management, batch converter, etc. We have utilities available for things like our data utilities, our part utilities, IFC utilities, and backup utilities. Our dataset tools for our dataset catalog editor, our definition editor, family part editor, the refresh tool, and the validate tool. There's a parametric content option over here. You can see we can open Parametric Cell Studio, open Frame Builder, or open the item types dialog. We have our various settings, whether they're user, system, file, configuration, or building settings. So in here, for example, in users, you'll see things like your function key settings, your preferences for Building Designer. Take a look at the file settings, for example, color books, color tables, design file settings, etc. We have a properties option here. When we choose properties, now that will take us back into the file and open this properties dialog box. And here we can see properties for the file itself. Now when I clicked on properties there, it took me back into the file. So I'm going to click back on the File tab. You'll see we have other options for print, import, export, publish iModel. We take a look at the import options. You see common file types, exchange file types, 3D modeling file types, and structural exchange. Export, common file types, exchange file types, etc. And our publish iModel option there. Again, when I clicked on publish iModel, it brought me back into the file. So I'll go back to the file tab here. See at the bottom we have help and exit. Now you can hit the escape key on your keyboard. That will take you back to the file itself. If I go back to the file tab, you can use the arrow up here to do the same function. Now if I choose close from this menu on the left here, you see that takes me back to the work page we were looking at earlier. And over here I can get back to the welcome page, again, which shows me examples, courses, and news and announcements. So the welcome page, the work page, and the backstage page in AECOsim Building Designer Connect Edition.